Welcome back to the O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube to get notified when new episodes go live, and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting app. What's up, guys? What's up, gals? Thank you so much for listening. Back to audio only for today, mostly because I didn't have time to get my camera all set up and everything, but I did want to address something that happened on NXT in preparation for NXT Battleground. It's a pretty big deal, to me at least. TNA champion Jordynne Grace is challenging NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez at NXT Battlegrounds. Now, why is that a big deal? One, it's a cross-company promotional thing. So if you remember in the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble for 2024, Jordynne Grace showed up and had a moment with Naomi. They were both competing for the Knockout Championship in TNA before Naomi came over to SmackDown or to WWE in general. But from what I understand or what I remember, Jordynne Grace is like the first person who's under contract from a different company to show up in the Royal Rumble. Is that right? Someone correct me. I don't know. I didn't do the research. But it was interesting to see a champion from a different wrestling promotion show up at the Royal Rumble. And it was a big deal. Everyone loved it. Huge pop. And she mentioned that hopefully they get to do something else in the future. And apparently Shawn Michaels agreed. So now Jordynne Grace is back to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. There's so much on the line for this, and it makes me super excited for the future of professional wrestling now that WWE is kind of giving an olive branch to other promotions. They've done it with New Japan when they sent Shinsuke Nakamura over there, and now they're doing it with TNA, which is a more direct, I wouldn't say competitor, but a more direct connection. You know, TNA, AEW, WWE, those are the kind of the big three at the moment in terms of, you know, United States promotions, I believe. So having Jordynne Grace show up on NXT and challenge for that title, if she wins and takes that NXT title to TNA, she makes history. No? She takes a WWE title to a completely different promotion where she is under contract. She's not under contract with WWE or whatever, you know, agreement they might have. She's still knockout champ. She's a TNA superstar. And she wins that NXT title because why wouldn't she, honestly? Let's be clear. Why wouldn't she win the NXT title? She's an incredible professional wrestler. Her winning the title and going to TNA and flaunting an NXT title at TNA, huge deal. Second, let's think about just her pedigree. She came over with Naomi, right? Naomi re-debuted at the Royal Rumble along with Jordynne Grace. And now Jordynne Grace is challenging for the NXT Championship while Naomi's just on SmackDown kind of doing nothing, you know, just hanging out. So there's a weird duality between that where everyone wanted Naomi back, but she's not getting this title shot like Jordynne Grace is. I don't know. That speaks volumes. I don't know what it says, but I don't know. It hit me really hard. I was like, oh my God, you know, they have Naomi. She could have challenged for the title, but it doesn't move the needle as much as having a champ from a different promotion come in and challenge for the title. Then Jordynne Grace becomes what I would say is the hottest commodity in professional wrestling because she has a WWE championship and a TNA championship while in TNA. Of all the people they could have asked to come over, think about that. Of all the champs they could have asked to come to WWE and challenge for the NXT title or whatever, North American title, doesn't matter. They chose Jordynne Grace. Why? Think about it. There's so many other people they could pick. She's the one they picked. Why would she not be the hottest commodity in professional wrestling? Her stock raises super high after that. And I'm here for it because I've followed her career for a bit. And she's not only made incredible strides transforming her body. She was a bodybuilder a couple of years ago. She's still, jacked as hell. But before, she wasn't You can watch her body transformation on Instagram. She went from being, a more curvy woman to just being a rock solid champ. She's just muscular, and there's just a lot of hard work that she put into that, and that's incredible. And then top it all off, she's a great professional wrestler. She's good on the mic. She's the whole package. So I understand why they picked her to do that. This all comes off the back of Becky Lynch taking some time off from WWE, and I was watching a clip about Busted Open, and they mentioned that Becky Lynch is a needle mover, and if she decided to take an offer from AEW, she could bring fans to AEW. And it got me thinking. I was like, maybe, but the AEW women's division might not be the most solidified to, help promote Becky. But then I'm thinking, well, Jordynne Grace would be a bigger star if she wins the NXT title and walks around double promotional champ from two of the major promotions in the United States. That's a pretty big deal. That's not to say that there aren't people like Matt Cardona, who's walking around with every title the Indies ever made, or Jon Moxley, who's done this already. But like I said, Jon Moxley is a needle mover. He's a big deal, and there's a reason why he got the titles, why he went to New Japan and got the title, why he's been AEW champ, why these professional wrestlers just have that thing. And I think Jordynne Grace getting called over to NXT to challenge for NXT Battlegrounds is a huge deal, and I'm super excited. I'm wondering. Here's my thinking. She being Jordynne got the call to join the Royal Rumble, and she was excited to do it. She made her debut. Obviously, she wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble, but it's just good to be invited to participate, I would assume. Huge event in professional wrestling. To call her back to lose to Roxanne Perez, to put over Roxanne Perez, doesn't make a ton of sense, And it also doesn't do much for Roxanne, The benefits of beating Jordynne Grace on NXT Battlegrounds doesn't really raise Roxanne's profile a ton, but it works in the inverse, right? You call Jordynne Grace back, it's like, thank you for, coming to the Royal Rumble. We have this other program we'd like you to work. Would you be interested in, challenging for the NXT title? Taking the win makes all the sense in the world, because that, one, cross promotes NXT with the TNA audience. Two, it raises Jordynne's profile and she can do more work for WWE and TNA, which would be incredibly interesting. And three, it opens the door for other professional wrestlers in TNA to come over to WWE on like a contractual basis, and vice versa. Maybe we can see like a Wes Lee go to TNA, or we can see an Oba Femi go to TNA and put his NXT North American Championship on the line. The door is open, guys. And Jordynne Grace kicked it open and then flexed, and now she's going to steal an NXT Championship and walk away with it. And I don't think I've ever been more excited for something in NXT. I don't watch NXT. Tuesdays are not wrestling days for me. I have other responsibilities to take care of. But I'm watching Battlegrounds for this match, and I think you guys should too. It's a huge deal, guys. Just think of the possibilities now that WWE and TNA are in a handshake deal to have champs face each other. I hope Jordynne Grace wins, just because it'll make more sense, it'll open more doors, and it'll be a lot more fun. It wouldn't be the static, WWE beat the smaller promotion. Who nobody wants that. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Jordynne Grace and her NXT appearance. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you, and don't you ever forget.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.